Come on in. I've been looking for you. I have everything ready. Coffee and cookies. Oh, these are my favorite. They have marshmallow in them. And no, they're not homemade, but we're not going to tell. Welcome. Come on in. I have something to talk to you about, and I'm willing to listen to you too. I've been thinking about the verse in Colossians chapter 3. Colossians is full of instructions on how to live. I'm amazed at all the instructions here that Paul gave the believers here. Rules for Christian households and wonderful instructions. But the one verse that stood out to me was Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful. The phrase, let the peace of Christ rule in your heart. And then it says, and be thankful. Why are those two together? I think they go together, just like coffee and cookies. And Amen. I'll show you why. The peace of Christ, and I'm thinking about Christ in the New Testament. He had peace. I never saw him without it. Anything he did, he had total peace. He was asleep during a storm. Peace. I mean, have you been asleep during a storm? I remember when Hurricane Beulah came here in 1967. I had two small boys. One of them had peace. He could sleep without a problem. But the older one, he had no peace. And I said, Sammy, go to sleep. Everything's okay. And he clenched his fists and said, I can't, Mama, I can't. He was just scared. But Jim had peace.
So the younger one was like Jesus.
Well, it was good. Well, I guess you can have peace in a storm. Then Jesus had peace. Another occasion, they came to him and said, we've got a lot of people here, and they've been here a long time, and they're hungry. What are we going to do? Jesus didn't panic. He had a plan. He was prepared. He had peace. That peace of Christ gave him authority. The peace of Christ gave him peace. I hate to repeat peace twice, but sometimes we say, oh, I have the peace of Christ, but boy, I feel panic. The two don't go together. Peace of Christ takes away panic, and you're able to function. Mm-hmm. So then it says, let the peace of Christ rule. If something's ruling, it's in charge. Kings rule over their inhabitants. They're in charge. Presidents rule to a certain degree also. CEOs have authority. They rule. So it says, let the peace of Christ rule. Let the peace of Christ be in charge. I don't like filling my car with gas. I don't like the prices. But I say, Lord, if you will provide, this is the situation we have. I refuse to panic. I will let the peace of Christ rule in my heart. Mm-hmm. Take over my life. Take over my heart. Rule. You're in charge. I'm moving over. I'm going to let you be in charge. I don't want to be in charge. I have been on boards in different times of my life, and some of the women that I've worked with, they like to be in charge, and they don't realize the responsibility if you're going to be in charge. You're going to be the one they call and say, there were visitors at your meeting Saturday and they didn't feel welcome. You're in charge. What are you going to say? Let the peace of Christ rule. Don't panic. Be like Jesus in the storm. Be like Jesus who fed 5,000 men plus women and children with a small lunch. He didn't panic. So that's our example. Peace of Christ. He's going to get us through this time. Don't panic. Don't panic. I have read in the scripture where it says he rules over the nations. He rules over the affairs of men.
Mm-hmm.
Let the peace of Christ rule in your heart and don't panic. And then it says, be thankful. The two together. Maybe I can say, okay, you're in charge, Lord. I'll let you be in charge. I want the peace of Christ in my heart. But I sure hate this weather. And so you Twitter, and then you Facebook, and then you call a friend, and you're bellyaching about the weather. And there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do. It said, be thankful. Okay, it's hot outside, but I'm thankful. My home is cool. My car is cool. The air is working. The stores are cool. And I can open my refrigerator and have a cold glass of tea or an ice cream. Be thankful for what you have. And I can walk. I can talk. I have eyes to see. I can hear. My hearing isn't good, but I can hear. And so be thankful. There was a man one time who had to have a leg amputated. Gangrene had gotten into that leg, but he was always rejoicing. He never complained. He never complained. And so they said, Bill, how are you doing? He said, well, one thing I can tell you, I can't kick. So he was making a little joke even after the amputation. That's the kind of attitude to have. Another thing, be thankful for what you have. Be thankful today for your family. Be thankful. And you know, I've had people come to my house on occasion. Sometimes the children, when they were much smaller, came. The grandchildren would come. And they said, Grammy, I like coming. Your house is peaceful. And I'm thinking, you know why? I'm alone. Nobody else is here. But I asked Jesus to be here. And he's the one that gives peace. So no matter where you are, if you're in a storm or if you're in the hot weather, be thankful. There's always winter coming. Winter will come to the Rio Grande Valley. It'll get cooler later on.
Yes.
Hang on. Hang on. And don't be so quick to complain. Let the peace of Christ rule. Be in charge of your heart and be thankful.